was on OG the coach, so I never touch that shit. I took a trip to New York, I'ma go fuck that bitch. Shawty said she wanna fuck, I already sent that shit. Ran off on the plug with his packs, now get me high as shit. I was on OG the coach, so I never touch that shit. I took a trip to New York, I'ma go fuck that bitch. Shot from the plug with his packs, now get me high as shit.
Alright boys, let's go ahead and get started with this tour. Go ahead and open up the front gate to the second compound. Come out with an airlock, some windows, airlock above. Go ahead and do a quick little run around the compound really quick. I do have china wall foundations on this base if you guys wanted to make a china wall. Here's upkeep for that. The china wall foundations and wide gaps. You're more than welcome to. I just have them out here for TC Prio. We'll get into the first compound gatehouse. 2 double doors. In compound, there's space for 5 furnaces if placed correctly, but I just have 4 because I don't really like stretching it. Front door, tons of room for shotgun traps, etc. Okay. Quick run around. You'll see we're met with some jump chutes. There's 6 on the base, all the way around, and they go all the way up to roof and open core. Some beds in the middle. Three entrances into the middle to the first floor core. 3 of them, some lockers everywhere. You're able to place bags all along this. There's an inner TC room here with your open core peaks. That's shown. Just a little bit of loot storage or whatever. You can put batteries, loot storage, doesn't matter in here. Here's the main TC upkeep. Pretty hefty, but for a bigger clan server like Vital Affinity, shouldn't be a problem to hold. As long as you have someone on every couple hours, you should be fine. Here's all the first floor loot storage. Quite a bit for first floor. Obviously, any of these can be subbed out for a furnace spot if you guys run that early. 2 jump ups into open core from main core. Here's main core, main open core storage. Pretty much the same as below, just a little bit more. Exits on all 6 sides like this, as well as 2, 3 in the middle, some boxes. You see there's some windows for defenses and ramps for defenses with turrets on both. As you can see, these turrets are pretty sneaky. Most people normally don't see them until it's too late. And then of course here's the jump path. Go ahead and continue following this all the way up. Our next floor is going to be inner peaks floor. So I just have little bits of inner peaks on this base. I don't have 2 layers like most of my other bases. As well as here's a bed spot, and then ramps, more bed spots. You can also throw beds in the middle here. I just have them open in my build. Here's the ramp peaks. Obviously can be used by turret and by people. Early game shooting floor is also on this floor. So you see, just a simple wide gap, some windows. You can also throw beds, boxes, anything you want over there. They normally don't get raided very quickly. Bed, and then here's an example with some beds on the early game shooting floor. They just help for better angles to look down, etc. But at the consequence, if they do bomb right here, you will lose these 2 beds. So go ahead and follow up the jump path again, and I have this center room area. This is my iteration of the collapsible roof concept of having an open room filled with turrets and windows that are easily defendable for a top-down raid. But since top-down raids don't normally happen very often on Vital or Affinity, from at least my experience, I have more of this centralized like bed area as well, in case they do side pummel really hard, which gives you just kind of this inner core concept that holds the base in the middle up, as well as giving you defenses and respawns in the center of the base. With that, we'll go ahead and keep following up the jump path so I can show you the outer ring here. Some more beds, boxes, tons of respawn potential in this base. Go ahead and get to shooting floor. Tons of beds here as well. I just have these marked out as beds. You don't have to run them as beds. You can also throw more beds here and on these. While we're here, we'll go ahead and look at these. These are just some simple single door roof peaks, as well as some windows behind, just to give you kind of a 360 area. There's 6 of them around the entire shooting floor, giving you tons of potential. Jump path turns into a double jump path. Some more roof peaks on both sides. Go ahead and look at both of those. Then we'll go ahead and enter the shooting floor. Here's shooting floor, obviously 360-degree wide gapped. Pretty standard stuff here. The design of the wide gaps can be ran as a salty shooting floor or as a ramp style. I normally just prefer these ramp styles because it's a little bit easier to put down in game for me. Being as the terrain sometimes doesn't allow the clipping on salty shooting floor. So that's just what I prefer here. Totally up to you guys though. Some half cut windows. Obviously some double doors to cover up the sides here. They can be left out early game though. Some decent wide gap potential. Decent roof peaks over here as well for double doors. You can also run the salty style roof peak ups here. Same difference, same concept. Go ahead and give you guys just a quick little run around. I also put beds in here. You don't have to. You can do double doors, garage doors, doesn't really matter. I just put a couple of respawns up here sometimes, and it helps. Especially for deeper wipes. Alright, now that we're on the roof, go ahead and just jump around, give you an idea. There's 12 exits to roof, technically, but 6 of them are actual exits, just 12 doors. I just have a door in the front and in the back, in case you wanted to leave this way, or if you're just quick respawning to get to the roof at the top here. As for roof defenses, just some simple half-cut peaks, some roofs. Decent peeking. I've won so many raids just from people being up here with M2 or an AK. Just beaming down. Obviously some turrets as well up here. I have 6 shown here, so I can have the 6 or 12 into the compounds. But you can also just add any turret anywhere up here if you would like, if you prefer 12 on roof rather than 6. It's all personal preference. This was built to the current vital main ruling, as well as you can put batteries in the center room or anywhere around the base. I would recommend putting them in main core. I normally leave a loot room out like this, and I put all of my electrics in my main core here. Or I've also done it to where you can do it in this center room right here in these little gaps. Since you only need a couple batteries, it's really not too bad. Alrighty, awesome. That concludes the tour of the base, and we're gonna go ahead and start building it. Okay, let's go ahead and get started into the build portion of this video. This base is fairly difficult to build, so make sure that you are building this at least a couple times in Builder Sanctuary before you bring it into in-game. As well as there is going to be timestamps in the description below showing different times for the different portions of the build in case you're building this in wipe and you need to rewatch it. I have the base set up to where it's 5 walls to loot on the normal build, as well as you're able to make external honeycombing after the fact, once the entire full build is done, making it 7 walls to loot. So I'll go ahead and show that in here as well. Getting started, I'm just going to make a triangle circle. Go ahead and add squares on all the ends. I'm going to go ahead and make a symmetry here, just to make it a little faster for me. Go ahead and add triangle into the gap. Add 3 triangles off the square and add a square. Then add 3 triangles and squares off of that. Just going to go ahead and fill in all of the gaps right now with triangles, as well as adding this honeycomb portion right here. Now for anything past this would be the external honeycombing. I will make this in this step. So we're gonna go ahead and add all of these, and triangle, and then 2 squares and triangles filling in more of the gaps. Makes it a little bit easier without the honeycombing. I just go ahead and go out 2 squares, cap it off with a triangle, build a 3 triangle off of that, squares off of each side. Now this is the main part of our footprint. This is what you need to build the TC. Just this 3 triangle and then square, and then you're able to build out. So I normally build out 2 squares, put down my foundations for my gatehouse, and then depending if you're gonna want to run China wall or not, I normally just go out 3, and then here's where I'd normally put my TC, right in here. Go ahead and get a door that I normally place TC. This would be my external setup for early game compound. And then you'd add your door, windows, roofs, and then you can start laying down your compound from there. For the expanded version of the shooting floor, you're gonna add a triangle on the bottom here, a square, and then in this little gap right here, 2 raised elevation triangles. You're gonna want to do that on each side. You can delete the triangle that you used to set it up, as they will be connected. So there you go. This would be the entire footprint. Let me go ahead and add the external honeycombing right here. So this would be the entire footprint for the base. I won't really be focusing on too many deployables, but compound is one of those that you normally want to have laid out before wipe. I normally do it with a little pointy end so I can fit a little bit more furnace in here. It's completely up to you, but this is normally how I do my compounds. I don't need to do all that. Go ahead and cut it in half, add my 3 doors, and then the rest of this will just be walls. And then obviously with these, do some room separation. And then this is what your main starter is going to be looking like. I normally, let me turn off symmetry really quick. I normally do 1 door to these. You can either fully seclude this if you don't want the peaks to open, or you can have on 3 sides of this, run a half wall, and then a single door on all of these. Now obviously this adds a little bit of cost to your first early game starting point, and it might add a little bit of issue with getting your starter placed, but I normally am the first one I build spot on most of the teams I build for, so I normally just set this up. It's TC Pro, but there you go. And then obviously I'm just gonna turn on symmetry again. For all of these, you can place these. I normally just place this first TC portion, and then you can start building out on the outer walls. Getting it all set up, put some farm in here and stuff for later. For all of your peaks, I just have 3 symmetry on, so I built them all at once, but I put triangles up here just so you can peek out, and this will be your open core. Start making some loot rooms. So for your triangles, since it's 6, perfectly good. Cut our symmetry in half here. Go ahead and add door frames all the way around. And then 2 of these, whichever ones you decide, will be your jump ups. So you're going to want to leave those ones empty. I have to turn off symmetry really quick. We'll do this one, and we'll do this one. I normally make them on opposite sides of each other. You don't have to. You can also do 3 if you'd like, but I like the extra loot storage for the extra one. Okay, now we're fully sealed. I'm gonna place some doors. I normally do double doors early game, so you can't really get into them. And you don't really need the necessary code lock for that. We'll go ahead and delete that. Building out a little bit more. You want to put door frames on these. These will be this will be your inner ring to run around. Go ahead and start putting doors. I want to put my door on the right side. You could do it on the left side as well, but I prefer just going on the right side. Start on my shell right now. This is what it's gonna look like. I'm on 3 symmetry, so I had to do it twice. But I normally do it like this. And put the wall frames, seal it up with some roof above that, and this will be your front door path. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on 6-sided symmetry right now, just before I forget. Start building my jump up chutes. Normally look like this. Go ahead and place a floor triangle. On all the ones that you're actually jumping, I normally add a window, just so you can get the angle of looking down into the peaks. Then obviously the other one, you can just add a wall or a window, completely up to you. I add door frames on both sides. It's really good. I normally just put the sheet doors on early game to seal off the jump path, because they're a little bit cheaper, and I do those on the ones that you're going down. The ones that you're going up, you can wait and put garage doors on later. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up a little bit. Add an extra wall on the outside. Go ahead and continue with my jump path, place my door. And then we're gonna go ahead and finish up my outer shell. A wall there. Okay. Go ahead and look down, get these walls to place. I normally build up 2 floors here just to give me some room, and then build up the other 2. Walls for sectioning out the loot rooms. Go ahead and build my loot room. Put a door frame, and then I do a triangle hatch right here, just for the extra stability. You can run square loot room here. You can run triangle. You build the triangle behind. There you go. It's completely personal preference at that point. Build the frame, a half wall, the floor, and then the ramp. This would be the whole outer style. This would be deleted because it's a door frame. My bad, sorry. This was symmetry building. As well as this is a door frame as well. I normally put frames in the middle. You can do windows, frames, doesn't really matter. Seal this, and then you can cut my symmetry in half really quick. There's your 3 spots for your boxes. There's different methods where you can have more loot storage. I just find this is the easiest to set up in game. These are a little tricky to get around sometimes, but you should be okay. And place this wall. Then all of this can get sealed. So go ahead and seal that. I just put that half wall there, by the way, for turrets. I normally use that as a turret spot, so it's I normally build that out. As for the rest of this is obviously going to be inner peaks. We'll go ahead and build our square, our 2 triangles on each side. And this is going to follow the normal footprint for triangles. Go ahead and go down. This is our door path into open core. So I normally add as many frames as I possibly can, as many garage doors as I can. Now that we're on inner peaks floor, we can start with early game shooting floor and the inner peaks. So what I normally do is I just place walls all the way around with a door frame in the middle here, as well as start on the frames for the early game shooting floor. Build some triangles out, triangles in, door frames, and then there you go. Put some walls out here so you can't get shot from the sides. And then this is the whole early game shooting floor setup. Super crucial to have these, as well as if your frames are metal, you need to match these to metal as well. It gets overlooked a lot of the times in bases, so I just wanted to put that out there just so people understand that you have to match your costs, or else those are going to fall before the rest of your shooting floor should normally fall. Go ahead and continue my jump path here. And add my door. And there we go. I'm going to show you guys how I set that up. I've done a lot of trial and error with bedrooms and getting people to place them and understand where they go. And this is the best method I've been able to figure out. 6 symmetry, it's obviously going to pop up. I run these little triangles as honeycomb. And then I just have a direct path on all of these. So it'll be a door frame, door frames on each of the sides, and then a door frame for my ramp peak down into open. Then obviously you can push your turret here. You can also push them back here, and then it'll cover more of the shooting floor. Not as much of in here, but it's up to you for whatever you guys prefer. I'm going to go ahead and fill in all of the roof panels here. Cool. So now that the entire roof is sealed in, we're going to go ahead and start on the collapsible roof, but not really a collapsible roof section. Just kind of like a middle area, defense area, I guess, where your normal open core should be. I guess I can call that a false open core, but yeah. Haven't really coined a term for it yet. I'm just building out the door path here, as well as I'm going to add the jump path for the inside of this here. This can also be a window if you'd like, or you can run this all as honeycomb. It's completely up to you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and run door frames on this for the stability here, and then go ahead and add the floors above it, and then above will pretty much just all be windows. Sorry, let me go ahead and delete the triangle from my jump path. The way I normally have a path is you just go straight up, and then you can add a door here if you need to as well. And you add beds or whatever you need. I run these door frames not really for the actual cost of door frames, or for the actual cost of raid. I'm normally just run them for the stability in the center here. Go ahead and full seal this up. Now we have this little middle unit here. I'm gonna go ahead and add some honeycomb here. Put an extra one there. I normally honeycomb this out, and then all of this will get frames, as well as I normally put turrets here. This is a good little spot that I found. Let me go ahead and build out the rest of this honeycomb. Catch up on my symmetry. Bring that to full. And then we're gonna go ahead and seal up here, as well as add windows all the way around the perimeter there. The way this is set up, you can still have your fully enclosed jump path that isn't really breachable, if they do get control of this little area, as well as I normally add doors, at least on the inner triangle, triple triangle right here, as just extra door path in case anything happens. I'm gonna go ahead and seal up the roof here. It's our jump path. Fully sealed up the roof. Now we're ready to start on shooting floor. I do one on these outside ones. And then go ahead and follow along. So go ahead and build out the basic idea of them, and then we'll build them all the way up. So I normally do this outer portion of this middle salty style shooting floor section. And then these outer ones, you can do either the inner ones or the outer ones. I normally end up doing both, I think, in game, for both of these. I know it adds a little bit of extra cost, but I find that this is a very big splash zone. If it gets hit right here, everything crumbles. But I think you can run either or, it doesn't really matter. And then obviously this edge piece for the edge squares. I'm just gonna go ahead and build this all the way up now. Obviously, you'll see the dips in the raised foundation portions. Oh, and as well as this triple area right here. Ooh. So yeah, don't be too worried about it. I'm gonna go ahead and start on my shooting floor area right here. It's gonna go ahead and fill in just exactly what you just saw. Let's build the frames for it. Add windows all the way around the perimeter. I had door frames on all three sides, and then a raised ramp and a lowered ramp. Normally that's twig, so you would just shoot it out from the top. Then add windows. all the way around. That does need to be built there, as well as this triangle does need to be built for this part of the shooting floor to be able to be built. Hold on, let me delete that so I can put our windows. And then this would be the full setup right here. Sorry, I did kind of a bad job of explaining it, but I know these triangles so I can run on the other side. But I just put windows around the entire exterior. I'm using my lower foundations here to use my half cut windows. And then I normally double stack these just for my roof peaks again. You can do half walls if you don't like roof peak downs with half cut windows. It's totally up to you. With this, I normally put windows on each side of this thing, of the triple triangle, as well as add half walls with either 3 door frames here with a garage door in the back so you can jump up, or a window in the back so you can have a roof peak. And then for the rest of this, I'm gonna go ahead and add my triangles, fill in the squares, and then this is the whole shooting floor concept. I normally add window frames here, or door frames here and here, just for stability. As well as you can section it off. You can put like a garage door and a double door, and then you can add your beds in here wherever you'd like. On the actual roof portion of this base, I normally add half walls all the way around my jump chutes, and then add door frames double stacked on both sides. I add windows all the way around on top of the half walls, as well as half walls above the windows, adding these little units. Go ahead and add a square here, and then a triangle on each side for jump up. And these also act as the roof peaks here because it's half floored. I'm gonna go ahead and add a roof on top of that. And these are the full roof units that are sealed with the jump ups. Now for the other roof peak ups, I'm gonna go ahead and add my floors here, windows. I just made a little half floor section on this double triangle area. Put windows on the back, door frames on the front, put a roof on the top of it. And then I add these walls here just for stability and a locker placement, as well as door frames on both sides just to seclude it off from the rest of the shooting floor. For the rest of this, I'm going to go ahead and add a complete wraparound path with doors, as well as the bedroom path completely secluded away so everyone knows where to place their beds in game. With that, you can add lockers on both sides of here and then beds in the middle if you'd like. I normally just add them here, and then I'll put beds or a locker here, and then as well as the shooting floor bedrooms over here. You just put a couple beds in. We're gonna go ahead and start sealing off the center portion. It's the same as the inner peaks floor above that and throughout the entire base. Once you learn it, it's pretty easy to never really forget it. I normally add frames here, just for the stability on the shooting floor, as well as you can add one in the center of this quad triangle, and then I put one on each side just for the extra stability. We're going to use our jump up here. Go ahead and start building out. So there you go. And finish up. This is our entire main TC roof done. Now let's start on the wide gap shooting floor portion of the shooting floor. I'm going to just follow out where all the stability beams are. Super easy. And then on this part, should have enough stability. If you don't, then you can add stability on these corner pieces, and it'll give you enough to place those in game. Most of the time I never really have stability problems with this base though. As you can see, the stability numbers are fairly decent throughout the wide gap shooting floor for the roofs. Now with all of this, you can either do double door frames or single door frames here. That isn't really super serious. Double door frames just mean that it's a one rocket raid to get down into that area. Single door, you have to blow, you have to waste the 4 rockets to get through it. I'll go ahead and make the China wall foundations right here. It's normally just literally a bunch of squares with a triangle at the end. I want to say it's 4 squares. 2, 3, 4. Boom. And then you're able to place your gate in the center here. See if I have one. Yep. You're able to place your gate in the center here. Just make sure it's clipping in the walls, and you should be all good. And then obviously you're able to do the 3 high, like most normal China walls. As well as I normally put windows here for the outer compound. And then place gate. Then go ahead and follow along the outside. My builder sanctuary code will also be in the description, as well as earlier in the video. If you ever want to check anything out in game and see if you did anything differently than how mine was, go ahead and check that out. If you guys use this base in game or like it, please go ahead and like the video and comment. It helps a lot. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys later.